Peace, everybody. Larry out of Brooklyn, New York City. First up, happy Father's Day to all the active fathers out there. I say active fathers because there's a lot of men out here that, although they could do more, they do the bare minimum. And I know a lot of these guys that do this shit. They go once a month with a Happy Meal and a trip to the park. And because that moment in time put the smile and joy on that child's face, they think that's enough. And it's not enough. Especially you dads that have daughters. Sons might do this too, I don't know, but them daughters have these moments where out of the clear blue, you guys know what I'm talking about, for no reason, they'll just come to you as a father for a hug. And they'll just bounce. They'll come, get that hug, and they're out of here. They'll need that affection from you, get it, and then they'll leave. Now, my heart goes out to these little girls who grow up and they don't have that father there to get that, you know what I mean? To get that from them. My heart goes out to these girls, you know? It definitely does. But shout out to you active fathers, any race, age, or whatever. You're there, and even if you're not in the house and you're doing your best, you know, you want to show up, but because of laws and rules put on you because of divorce or separation, you're trying your best. Shout out to you too, man. But middle finger to you scumbag dads that don't go around for whatever reason, and you could go around, and that kid's right there, and you're selfish, you know? They only need 18 years and then they're on their own. Give it to them. Give it to them at least until they're like teenagers. But give it to them. Now to the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club is hurting the black community. And this is how the Breakfast Club hurts the black community. The Breakfast Club isn't providing entertainment through the form of music. What they're doing is they're not just steering narratives like Kwame says, but they're promoting and they're pushing political propaganda in order to manipulate the masses into thinking another way. If that was not the case, they would not only have leftists in and Democrats in the show, they would also interview conservatives and Republicans, and they don't do that. The last conservative that they invited on the show was Angela Stanton King, who I believe they thought was going to get ghetto and ratchet because of her past and her history, but she handled all three of them at once. I posted about this in 2020, and it was cool to hear Kwame talk about it also, you know? And it's wrong what the Breakfast Club is doing. And what happens is you have millions and millions of people in the black community who have no idea who Angela Stanton King is, who have no idea who Vernon Jordan is, Burgess Owens is, Larry Elder is, you know, Raynard Jackson is, Kim Klacek is. You have Uncle Tim Scott, which is what Joy Reid called him. Joy Reid of MSNBC called him Uncle Tim Scott because he's the only African-American GOP member. Mind you, this black GOP member was the author of the empowerment zones for communities of color. Hasn't been on the Breakfast Club. This black man, the first blah blah black man, not on the Breakfast Club. Why? Because he's a conservative. Conservatives, who they say are racist. I just called off 6 of them, African American, and there's many, many more, but you won't know this because the Breakfast Club hides information from the black community and even lies. Why does Angela Rye get a recurring visit to the Breakfast Club? Why is ex-President Celente Fox invited to the Breakfast Club and Senator Tim Scott isn't, or other GOP members? You know, the thing is, here's a person that I would love for Kwame to talk to, and I would love the Breakfast Club to interview. Her name is Dr. Carol M. Swain. I would love to see them interview Dr. Carol M. Swain. Why? I'm not going to say why. You go and do the Google search for Dr. Carol M. Swain, you know? And that's the best person that I think, not the best person, but that would be a great person for either platform to speak to. And I don't think the Breakfast Club's going to do it, because they're not about truth and facts and providing all the information to the black community so that we can make informed decisions. They just tell us. They just tell us. And I knew that we were in for this train wreck once they were saying that 45 was racist, but they ignore 46 as past. That's when I knew it was a wrap. So here we are, backflipping over Juneteenth. Still no discussion about the Platinum Plan for communities of color. What's a solution? I got a solution. We have something called the prison industrial complex, right? We also have a infrastructure bill. And the reason it's infrastructure is supposed to be road, bridges, and tunnels. So why is $10 million going to Pakistan in infrastructure? Why is money going to museum and libraries for infrastructure? Dig deeper into the shit that they got you paying for in your tax dollars. They're playing a lot of games with us. But here's another one. Here's a solution in this infrastructure deal, right? In this prison industrial complex. 16-year-olds are offenders, up to 21-year-old, right? So let's take the 18 to 25-year-old ex-offenders who come out. Let's put these young men and women in vocational and educational programs. Plumbing, heating, electrical, carpentry/woodwork, right? So now, when these people get certified, they can participate in this infrastructure economic boom.